Hello everyone, today we are going to study the second part of narrative writing, that is narrative essay. Yes, now we can also write a narrative essay. It also includes all those elements of stories, but this can be personal narrative, a narrative in the personal or first person POV. Now what are different ways of narration? Narrative essays are always written in from a defined point of view, that of the author. The narrative essay should have a central theme and points to support and elaborate the theme. A narrative essay includes vivid verbs and modifiers and is very precise in description of the characters. So let us understand one thing more, that how to narrate, what is the concept of narration. So what happened when someone asks you that, what do you say? You responded by telling a story. When it happened, where it happened, how it happened, and why it happened. This is what we call narration. If descriptive writing aims to appeal to your reader's five senses, narrative writing aims to tell an event that occurred by providing details. Now this is what is difference between descriptive writing and narrative writing. Narrative writing or narrative essay includes the description or the flavor of descriptive writing, so that characters and everything involved in the narrative essay can be visually presented to the reader. Because this is your story, the narrative essay, you can use the words I, me, my, and mine. This is a personal experience piece. So this is always written in a POV, first person POV, personal point of view in a first person. Your story will be written in the storytelling style by complete use of setting, characters, plot, climax, and ending. So the structure would be according to the elements of the story. For example, take this sentence, I was never more scared than the day I lost my little sister in a crowded market. So here what is being said? It is said in the first person narrative. The POV, the point of view, is in the first person. The narrative essay can be about a variety of personal experiences. You can write about anything. The lovely necklace you bought at Sunday Bazaar, the frightening experience of being stuck in an elevator, the best holiday or worst day you ever had, your pet cat, an experience or event from your past, something that happened to somebody else, such as a parent or a grandparent. But this would be in a first person narrative. So these topics, these themes can be covered in our first person narrative. What should you include in your narration? It's always effective to begin by identifying the who, what, when, where, why, and how. The most logical way to present details in your story is by narrating them chronologically. But it's also possible to begin your narrative using flashback technique and other similar literary devices. So chronologically means sequence of events, events happening one after another. Flashback means bringing the end at the first and taking the beginning at the end. This is what we call flashback. It is a kind of a reverse to the chronological order of a story. The important thing is that your narrative is cohesive and details are organized. Dialogues enhance and advance the meaning of your story. So don't be afraid to include them in your narrative. So dialogues should be there, so that there should be a natural touch to your narrative essay. Now essay techniques. Number one, an essay begins with a general statement like learning something new, like swimming, can be a scary experience. So we are not going to traditionally start the narrative essay once upon a time. You are not going to start your narrative essay with a story kind of a touch, but you are going to get it more philosophical, give it a philosophical introduction, like thesis statement can also be there. Then you come to narrate that particular incidents in your personal narrative style. Number 2, the author gives sufficient details about the people, place, and events so that reader gets a clear idea of how the author feels about them. For example, in the above essay, suppose you write that you stood timidity and the teacher smiled and was patient. Now, what is happening here? These are the words which are creating effect. What will these words indicate? Your fears and the sense of security provided by the teacher who helped you to get over your fear. So this is what the techniques should be used. Number 3, in the final paragraph of the essay, the author reflects on the larger meaning or importance of the experience described. For example, the author concludes that learning to swim has helped her to feel more confident about herself in other new situations. Larger meaning, the idea that self-confidence comes from conquering your fears is something that all people can relate to. This is the point of the story. Number 4, the essay should be well organized. For example, after the introduction, the author describes the experience as it happened in time. Going to the pool the first day, having the first lesson, the result of the subsequent lessons. Now options, the author might have chosen, however, to talk about the things she learned in order of their importance or difficulty. So further, number 5 point, make the essay lively and interesting. Try to engage the reader's interest. Add details or personal observations. This is personal narrative, so you can have your say. You can share your personal observation. Add details of your feelings. The decisions to guide your readers through your story. For example, importance with the chronological order, first, next, later, finally, more important, most of all, last but not least. Remember, I have also made a video about transitional words. You can also check the description box to check the link. Further, cause and effect. Therefore, because, as a result, consequently, since, for, so. Compare and contrast transition. Similarly, in contrast, unlike, on the other hand, nevertheless, in the same way. Examples, transition, such as, for example, in other words, along with, for instance, like. So use these transitional words to make the flow of your narrative very smooth and connected. That is what makes your essay well organized and interconnected. Useful time phrases which you can use to make your narrative more natural. Last year, last summer, month, week, yesterday, after an hour, 1 week ago, after a few minutes, on that day, suddenly, out of the blue. Now, adjectives for expressing feelings. I felt afraid of, too, sad, scared, surprised, upset. I felt delighted, excited, happy. So use these adjectives to make your narration more natural and more attractive. So I hope you have learned many things about narrative essay, how to compose a good narrative essay. I wish you all the best. Thank you very much.